everyone, and welcome back to So You Want to Be a Millionaire. I'm your co-host, Sharla Brown, joined with the one and only amazing Jacquie Somerville. On today's show, we're going to be talking to you about how to monetize your business. Are you ready, ladies? And feel free to throw in the comments a little bit about your business, because we definitely want to learn more about what you do. And we're going to be talking today how to increase your business, your sales, make more money, and get more passionate about what you're doing. Jacquie, we love talking about business, don't we?
We do, Sharla. Hi, everybody. Great to be with you. Yes, we've noticed so many women get stuck in this thing of running businesses like hobbies and not really bringing in the money that they deserve to be bringing in. They get so stuck with that. And yes, we talk about mindset all the time. So what's the biggest block to bringing in money and charging for what you're worth? Of course, it's mindset. And we're going to talk about that because we always do. We always throw in some mindsets and faith, some of the foundational things, but we're going to talk about some nuts and bolts today and really how you can build that confidence in yourself so that you can confidently go and make your offers in the world and fairly ask for an exchange of money to take place in exchange for what services and products you are offering the world. So it's really getting clear on that, on the fact that you are a businesswoman, that you are in business. No one is in business to not make money. It doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone be in business to not make money? So why aren't we making more money in our businesses, building more powerful, financially strong businesses, profitable businesses, and really going out there and giving up this whole notion of hobbies and giving things away for free? There's a time and a place for everything. But if you've been running your business like a hobby up until now, I bet you it's time to actually start bringing in the big bucks. So
yes,
we're excited to help you with that.
Yes, absolutely, Jacquie. And that's the thing is that, Jacquie and I co-founded 100 Most Powerful Women, which our tagline is, we work with women to look like a million, feel like a million, impact millions, and make millions of dollars doing what you love. And that can be your business. We've met so many women who are doing what they're doing and giving it away. And they haven't did that just to get started. They've been doing that for years. And that's the thing is, as Jacquie said, that is a hobby. If you want to go out and do volunteer work or be able to help others, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with having hobbies. But if you want to make an income doing what you love, if you want to have a massively successful business, if you really want to profit from what you're doing, is that you got to learn how to build a successful business. And so that's what we're going to share with you today. So I think the first thing that often comes up for us with the women that we're working with is having crystal clear clarity as to what their business is, what they want that to look like. Because what happens is we equate being busy. And so we're doing all these different things in our business. We have 100 different programs that's going on. We're trying to write a book and maybe do coaching and then also make a product on the side and all these different things. And you got so many irons in the fire, but you're not getting the results that you want. Well, that comes down to really starting with some clarity as to, really what is your passion? What excites you? What do you love doing? And really focusing on that rather than really spreading that too thin and never doing something right that you never monetize anything. And so I think that's a great place to start today, Jacquie, is kind of looking at that clarity piece. And, what are some of the things that you suggest people doing to get that?
Uh-oh, was that my internet?
Clarity.
Uh-oh, Sharla, sorry, did my internet go out again?
I'm not too sure. There was a blip there, but it looks like we're still good.
Okay, good. So to get clarity, yes, absolutely. So critically important. And we talk about this a lot, about when you ask people what they do and they can't say it in a succinct sentence. And if you can't tell people what business you're in and what you offer the world in a succinct sentence, that would be the first thing to start with. Make sure that you can describe in such a way that a 7-year-old will understand what you do in the world in layman's terms, not flowery language, not trying to be too smart. How do you describe in layman's terms, in the simplest way, in a succinct sentence, what you do in the world, what your business is all about, with an emphasis on the results? So we teach an XYZ statement, right? So I help X do Y, so that's Z. So that part is so important. What are you offering? What is the whole purpose behind your business? And so saying that in a very succinct way is very, very important. And so if you're not super clear and you can't describe it in an elevator, if somebody asks you between floors what you do and you can say it in one like quick sentence and get their attention, and as you're walking out the door, they're following you going, hey, hold on, tell me more, I'm curious. If you can give a succinct sentence and spark the next question of, oh, well, that sounds amazing, tell me more. Isn't that what you want from that XYZ or from that elevator statement? That's exactly what you want. You want them to say, wow, well, that's really cool. Tell me more. Now you've got a prospect. So, so it's really getting clear and saying it in a single sentence. What is it that you do? What is it that you offer the world? Really important.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that we really realize is that women get really scared to niche their market. And that is one of the most important things that you can do, is really get crystal clear as to who your customer is, who your client is, who you want to serve, the characteristics about them, and not to get scared that, well, if I just appeal to those people, then I'm cutting myself off to the rest of the world. Well, if your demographic is, women over the age of 40, there's millions and millions and millions of women that could be your customers. How many people can you really help? So, the more that we can define what we do and get clear, the more that we can reach and effectively market to our customers and clients. And that's another one of the big concerns that we always get from women is, well, I don't know how to get my message out there. I don't know how to market what I do. Well, that really comes down to really looking at who your client is and having that crystal clear market message, that XYZ statement, so that women say, yes, that's my person. That is what she does. These are the benefits, so that, as Jacquie said, so that, you can, and what is that for that client and customer, so that they say, yes, that's me. I'm a woman, I'm over 40. I definitely struggle with those things that she just said. And this is what she delivers. And that's what I want. And so that's where the magic happens in the connection, so that you can effectively market what you do in the world, so that people can understand with clarity as to, this is exactly what this person does, rather than them going to your website and says, oh, well, she makes some, body products and bath and body products, but she's also, a motivational speaker. And she wrote a book on, 10 ways to take care of your cat. And, and that's the thing, is sometimes people, have all these interests and passions, but, what is the thing that really excites you? Because you can pick one thing and make millions and millions of dollars doing that. I say that so many times. The example we always give is, one of the highest grossing deals on Shark Tank, and the good old scrub daddy. I usually have it down because, it is a damn good sponge. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's up at my kitchen sink right now. But, this person has sold over $500 million in sponges, just one wonderful little sponge. And so, what is that one idea, that one thing that you're most passionate about, and really working to focus and monetize that? It doesn't mean that you can't do a lot of other things. It doesn't mean that you also can't have a book, or you also can't have a product line. You look at some of the most famous people in the world, they have a perfume, they have a vodka, they do lots of different things. There's no reason why you can't build an empire, become a serious entrepreneur, all that kind of stuff. But you got to start out with the thing that excites you most. And as you get that down, then you can build and expand. One woman does a lot of stuff, like we do lots of different things. We have lots of different opportunities for women to get involved with, and things that we, offer in terms of our products and services. But, it all started with one thing. And so once you get confident with that, once you start getting some results, once you start making some money and you build that confidence in what you're doing, then you know what, things start lighting up as to what the next right thing is to do. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to mention about that to kind of kick things off as well.
Yeah, Sharla, great information there. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that whole thing about how people are so afraid to niche. And I used to be this way. When I first started my business, I really hated it every time the coaches or someone I was listening to would talk about niching, figure out your niche and get really niched. And I'd be like, no, but I want to appeal to everybody. But the truth is, if you try to appeal to everybody, you appeal to nobody. You've got to be prepared to piss some people off with what your message is in order to be successful. And so I started to realize when I looked at, for me, because my brand, one of my brands could be construed as a little controversial, and and it's kind of a sexy brand, and I like to get on stage and talk about sex. I was reining myself in because I was so afraid people were going to judge me and I was going to lose an audience. But truthfully, anybody who judges that and is not interested is not my audience. Right? For that brand. They're not my audience. So why would I worry about losing them? So this whole thing of, well, I don't want to lose an audience, so I want to be a very broad appeal. You can never be successful in business when you start out with that. You have to be prepared to lose those people who you were not meant to serve in order to really hit the spot of those you are. And so when I looked at someone like a Howard Stern and I saw, how did that man get to be the king of all media and so hugely successful? Because he was prepared to be himself and to be shunned by so many, to be fined, to be shunned, so that he could still speak his truth and be who, whether you like him or hate him, he was hugely successful because he was prepared to not appeal to everybody. That's how people get really successful. I remember watching a friend of mine create a very successful business around just helping women who struggle with infertility. No one else. If you are a woman and you cannot fall pregnant and you've tried all sorts of things, she's your coach. And to see someone get super successful, she's not trying to appeal to anybody else, just women who struggle to have babies. And you can build a massively successful business being that niched. So, yeah, there's so many examples. We could go on and on. But be prepared to niche down and really listen to us. That really is key. And don't dull your message because you are afraid to alienate a certain sector of society. You will be more appealing to your people if you speak directly to them, and that will often result in alienating others. Be cool with that.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that you mentioned about, as women in business, you do need to grow some thick skin. Yeah. To be successful at what you're doing, you look at some of the most successful people in the world. You look at somebody like Oprah. There's people who love Oprah and there's people who don't. And, they're very vocal about it. And when you're in, the limelight of the public eye and all that kind of stuff, it can be really harsh. But it can be just as harsh as, if you're a business and putting it out there, that it can make you start, playing small or wanting to throw in the towel or give up or feel like, oh my gosh, I'm upsetting people. So, I shouldn't do this. And, I always say what other people think of you is none of your business. And I've gotten that so many times. You'd think with a women's empowerment organization, people would be happy and excited about that. But, some people get totally ticked off in terms of what about men? And so it's like, hey, there's nowhere that says, men can't attend events or any of that kind of stuff. We have men who are one-woman members, all that kind of stuff. And so, people get upset about everything. You just got to be on social media and scroll for 30 seconds to see some sort of controversial post or something that people aren't agreeing with that somebody else is doing. And, your passion, your purpose is what God has put on your heart. And so, nothing should ever stop you from doing that. You're not always going to make everybody happy. That's not your job. Your job is to follow the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire, what you're most passionate about doing. And to be able to do that through your business, to be able to make the income that you want to make and to be able to serve the people that you want to help and serve in this world. Because if you don't do it, who will? That's the thing, is that when we niche and we do things like Jacquie had given the example of, is that, there's so many women who need that help. And so if you're that person who can help that other person, like that's the greatest gift that we can give in this world. And so businesses can be such a powerful tool and way to be able to do that. But knowing that in business, you're not always going to make everybody happy, and that there's going to be, times where customers aren't happy or things that, go wrong in your business and all that kind of stuff. So what's important for us is to really, continue to build that thick skin, build confidence in being, a strong woman in business, and making the decisions that you got to make in your business, because making decisions can be tough. You got to make those decisions, and I always say, make a decision, right or wrong. The road of life is paved with flat squirrels who couldn't make a decision. And so, you're doing always the best that you can do with what you know in that moment. And so never be scared to do that. And that we all are just learning, as business owners. I don't think any of us have, was handed the book when we started our business, how to build a massively successful business in 365 days, doing exactly what you want to do, how you want to do it. Lots of times we're figuring it out as we go along. Of course, we have great coaches and people that we work with that help us navigate that, so that we're not alone when we have to make those decisions, that we can confidently make them and learn step by step the things that we need to learn. We don't know it all. We're not always all accountants and marketers and gurus and all that kind of stuff when it comes to, figuring out all the pieces of the puzzle. But you can find those people to be able to help you so that you can be massively successful in your business. So yeah, so many great things that we could talk about when it comes to being, a powerful woman in business.
Yeah. I love your flat squirrel thing, Sharla. When I was riding my bike here in LA the other day, and there were two flat squirrels, and every time I see a flat squirrel, I just think about you. And I was like, now there's a squirrel that didn't make a damn decision one way or the other. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh.
Yes. And lots of times it can keep us from growing in our business, like taking that step and really being able to grow. But the thing is that you're able to do that, and there's so many different ways that we can do that, whether that's hiring the help we need and building a team and putting business systems into place. One of the things that we talk about so much, Jacquie, is, how hard women are working to try to make their business work. And lots of times they're pushing a boulder up a hill. They're trying to be everything to everyone. They're trying to juggle all these things, and nothing's quite working well. And that's why we really help women to focus and to be able to put the systems in place so that you can run your business with ease and flow, that it doesn't need to be hard work, and that you can make a lot of money with just focusing on one thing. And really simplifying it. We overcomplicate it as women. We're so busy up here, all the 10,000 things we need to do, and trying to juggle all the social media and all the stuff that we need to do, and then we're falling behind in our sales or in our contacts, and trying to set up funnels and all these different things. And lots of times we overcomplicate it, or we're looking at what everybody else is doing. Well, that's what's working for them. They look like they're making money over there, so like I think I need to now do this, and you get off track. And, my biggest advice always to people is, pick those things that feel right for you, that feel really good, that you enjoy doing, and then be consistent. Like, just be consistent. But lots of times, like, we want everything yesterday. We don't want to wait for the results. But, I think it's beautiful that you'd posted this picture in the 100 Most Powerful Women page. We have a page for our members. And, it was of two people. This one guy that only dug a little bit and he found a diamond. And there's one guy that's, digging, and he gives up because he sees somebody else got the diamond or got a diamond. And so he doesn't think that, there's one there for him because he dug twice as hard. But the diamond was now one more inch below the surface.
And it was 10 times the size of the other guys. And he went and dug in that hole because that guy had found the diamond, but the diamond was already removed from that hole. And so he went to that, and there was the diamond 10 times the size, 2 inches away.
Yes.
Quitting.
Yes. It just really spoke so many volumes in terms of like what we don't believe in terms of, it's not what other people are doing. Yes, you can take ideas and you can use things for inspiration and whatever, but at the end of the day, it's developing your business systems that are right for you, that are right for your business and what you want to do. And sometimes that's creating a brand new path that doesn't even exist. I've done that almost every single time with the businesses that I've owned, and I've been massively successful. You know, a girlfriend of mine used to always say, you know what, Sharla, everything you touch turns to gold. And so, you know, my secret to my success for that is because I've always authentically followed what I felt was right for the intentions that I had for that business. When you can tap into that, you will be massively successful at whatever you do. And there's been times where I just decided that that business was time to move on, and I moved on to something else. And people just feel like, hey, if I change or if I do something else, you know, I can't let go of that. Well, you know, things come into our life for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And we've helped women to rebrand, to really be able to shift and turn something that they're really passionate about into million and multi-million dollar businesses. And so really it's tapping into that divine guidance at our business that, you know, they're never going to probably teach that in the business books or in business school or any of that kind of stuff. But it truly is, you know, one of the secrets that we have to our success.
Yeah. And Sharla, you're just such a brilliant example of that. You really are, of just doing something from the heart and following instinctively and intuitively instead of looking around and seeing what everyone else is doing and trying all sorts of different things. You just listen to your instincts. You follow your intuition so beautifully, and it's just been so wonderful and inspiring to watch and to learn from. And also this whole thing of growing a thick skin. That's another thing that I have observed and learned so much from the way that you do, you know, deal with negative comments or a resistance to what we're offering to the world or whatever it is that we come across in our businesses. Somebody who's not happy with the way we're doing something, or, you know, whatever, threatens us with a lawsuit. I mean, these are the things that happen in business, right? And it's just been so amazing. It's helped me to grow a thicker skin, to see how you handle those kinds of things with such grace, and you don't let them destroy your business or your life or your day even. And so many of us let those things destroy our days and our months and our businesses. You're going to get some resistance to what you're doing in the world. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do what's calling on your heart and on your soul, and make millions from it. Because when you do, you're going to have an amazingly fun, incredible, extraordinary life. And you're also going to share the wealth with the world. So yeah, it's beautiful to watch and to learn from those two very important things.
Yes, yes. And that's so important, so important. And that's the thing. If you take anything away from today's talk, is that, you know, it's not between you and the world or one individual customer or, you know, somebody that you're dealing with, if that's in your family or that's in an influence or somebody who makes a social media post or whatever. It's always been between you and God. Mm-hmm. And so when you're divinely connected in all that you do on this earth, including your business, and that you know, the purpose that you stand for every single day, that you can go to bed each night, look at yourself in the mirror and, be thankful, be grateful, be proud of what you're doing. That's what matters at the end of the day. And you will attract the people that you need to attract, that everything will unfold exactly as it should. And, that's definitely one of the foundations to everything we teach is, having that divine guidance, tapping into it, and that not to overcomplicate it. I was definitely a girl who worked too hard in terms of business to try to figure it out and to, make money that you wanted to make and to achieve the results you wanted to achieve and all that kind of stuff. And it was the day that you surrender that to God, really trust in that bigger picture, become the visionary in your business, be able to see, how the pieces of the puzzle are, matching together with the intentions that you have on this earth and the, intentions you have, for your customers and clients. It creates such a beautiful picture. And then the rest really doesn't matter, because that's the thing, is that there's always going to be people who don't like what you do, maybe are jealous of what you're doing, don't agree with it, whatever the case might be. And really it is none of your business. It should never stop you or get in your way. And the more you do that, the more confidence that you build in yourself, what you're doing in your business, the impact it's making in this world. The more water off a duck's back, you don't worry too much about it at all. So
yes, exactly. I was plugging in my mic because somebody's making a big noise outside.
Oh, no worries at all. So the other thing we wanted to talk about that women get really kind of squeamish about a lot of times is just sales. And that's a webinar that we're talking about this Friday, which is free to attend, which is how to increase your sales with ease. So we thought we would touch on that topic as well, because it is such a big part of your business. If you're not selling, you are not making money in your business. But, women are passionate about, their gifts and what they want to do in this world. But when it comes to selling, sometimes we can get really uncomfortable, or, we're so used to giving it away. How do we now ask, and how do we now sell? And so those are the things that we're going to be covering. But I just thought it's a great topic that we can kind of give you a few tips about today.
Yeah, Sharla. And, it's a kind of great segue from what we were just talking about, because I think a lot of people put off making offers and making sales and asking for money in exchange for what they do, and a good amount of it, because they are scared of what people will think of them, or how people will react. Or will people think I'm too pushy? Will people think that I'm not qualified for this? It's always so much concern about what other people will think. At the end of the day, none of that matters, because you're going to be the one laughing all the way to the bank. You're going to be one with a successful business. So to really let go of this thing of what other people will think is going to go a long way to help you to make more offers and more sales in your business. If we aren't making offers, we're not selling, we're not creating a business, we're not making any money. And I do notice that it's lack of confidence and it's fear of what other people will think that holds people back from making offers and then closing the sale. Confidence in what you do in this world, confidence in the fact that your business and your service, your service or your product has the ability to either make someone's life a whole lot easier, to change their life completely, to support them, to help them, whatever it is. What you offer the world has some service elements to it. You are helping people with it. I always say even the convenience store owner is serving the community by having milk available for a stressed out woman who's late coming home and needs to buy some milk or whatever. Everybody, if you're doing what you love to do and you're serving others, then you are serving the world in some way. So, so really get rid of this thing of worrying about what others will think when you make your offer. Don't worry. Again, it's not for everybody what you offer in the world. Be prepared to have some people say, no, that's not for me. Thanks so much. Good. I'm glad we established that early on, right? Rejection, by the way, is always divine intervention. Always. If a client doesn't sign up, it's like, God just saved us from somebody who was going to be very, very difficult to deal with. I always try to remember that. It's like, nope, that was divine intervention. It's the same thing as if some dude who you just went on a date with and you're into him never calls you again. Divine intervention. Same thing with clients. So remember that when you're going out there and making a sale. Drop any sort of attachment to how it's going to work out. That's the other thing is we go in making an offer or trying to make a sale, as it were, to a prospect. And we get so attached to hoping that it works out, that there will be money that exchanges hands. And that means that our energy shifts to a desperate kind of expectation state, which is never a good thing. So if we go into something without an expectation, knowing that divine intervention is taking place no matter what, and we give it our all, and we can do that in a relaxed state, and somebody still chooses not to work with us, it was not meant to be, at least for now. Not to say they won't come back, but it wasn't meant to be for now. And when you go into your sales knowing that, you can go into sales in a relaxed state, trusting that that one customer or prospect is not your source. The divine is your source. The divine will take care of your business and your finances as long as you are out there pitching the balls, throwing the mud, as it were. The divine will take care of who says yes and who says no, and it'll always be because there's a reason. Divine timing is never wrong. So, hey, we get back to faith and spirit no matter what we talk about, whether it's sales or money or anything else. Everything is spiritual at the end of the day, Sharla. Everything.
Yes, it sure is, Jackie. And that's the thing is that, sometimes it's not a no. It's often a not right now. And if I had that attitude whenever somebody had said no to something, that would be to my own demise and failure and to give up, as opposed to the fact that, hey, lots of times people need to be exposed to what you're doing 13 or 14 times, maybe even more, before they will actually buy or actually commit to something. So really looking at every opportunity as an opportunity to be able to tell somebody about what you do, to be able to make the ask, and to be able to start building that relationship with someone. Because I don't know how many times that I've had it happen where somebody will buy something and they say, oh, I've been following you for years. For years. And that was the day that they decided to be all in, or to purchase something, or to get involved in something, or whatever the case is. And so, you just never know what somebody else is going through, what their situation is, if they're ready for what you're doing, if they're able to make the financial commitment. Like, you have no clue what that other person is experiencing, going through any of that kind of stuff. So your job is just to be able to best, articulate what you're doing, be passionate about what you're doing, being consistent in what you're doing, and to be bold enough to always make that ask and to be able to sell. And that it doesn't have to be salesy or cheesy, or everybody feels like, you're the car salesman or whatever the case is, that you got to be sleazy in the dealings. No. Oh my gosh. The more authentic you are in what you're doing, and just the honesty and integrity that you do everything with, you will always have the results that you want. Mm-hmm. And no matter what direction, even if I've worked with people who it's like, it's not a good fit for me, or not a good fit for them, pointing people in the right direction. And how many times that's came back tenfold, in my life and in my business, it's just a beautiful way to be able to do business. And so really looking at your integrity with everything, your intention with everything, and that when you have that, sales are easy. But we'll really go into depth about all of that on Friday. And also the other big question that we get from a lot of our clients is, struggles around pricing. How do I price what I do? And so that's another thing that we'll help you with and take you through that, in terms of, really looking at your products and services, being able to price those, or to be able to increase your prices. That's where a lot of guilt comes around for a lot of women in business, is like they were operating too small. They know that they should be charging more for what they do, but now how do I increase my prices without, ticking off my existing customers and all that kind of stuff? There's ways to do it. It's lots of times the worry and the doubt and the fears that's playing in our mind that just aren't true, that if we put it out to the world, so that we can get the results that we want.
Yeah, absolutely true. And we do teach that, again, that's kind of a spiritual thing. That's between you and the divine presence, whatever you want to call it. Really feel into your pricing and charge from as Sharla said about authenticity, charge from an authentic place. Charge what feels right to you. You can always increase when your level of awareness increases, and your level of wealth consciousness increases. You can increase your prices, but you've got to feel really good about what you're offering the world, and you've got to feel good about what you're charging. So get those things in alignment. Really do the inner work so that you are aligned, and then you can confidently go and make an offer and ask for that amount of money. What I always did was, if I sold something for a certain price, and when I'd had a little success at that price, I upped my prices. So that's how I did it. As long as I had a few sales at a certain price, I proved to myself that was a price that worked. I then upped it a bit, and I had a few sales at that price, and then I upped it until it was really congruent with the value that I was offering. I had my consciousness, my wealth consciousness was congruent with the value that I was offering in the world. So we obviously go into more depth on pricing and so on. But that is a big question that we get, and so important. Make sure that you do the inner work on these things and follow your intuition.
Yeah, absolutely, Jackie. And yeah, we're excited about that this weekend. There's lots of things to talk about when it comes to sales, and definitely one of the biggest questions that we got. And so that's why we developed an entire webinar around that topic so that you
Yeah.
can feel really good about pricing your products in terms of selling, in terms of, the ask and really getting it out there, and how to do that effectively so that you can build and grow a massively successful business. So, Jackie, any final thoughts or words that you want to leave our audience with today in terms of monetizing your business?
Yeah, so I just want to drop this little thing about confidence, right? I mean, really, it is about being confident. And so think clearly today about what your message is as we circle back to what we said in the beginning. Really get crystal clear on that. Practice saying it over and over again, because just that will build your confidence. And and all these little things that we do, be careful on how you present yourself. Make sure that you dress in a certain way that makes you feel confident. Some of the shallow things I talk about that build confidence, whatever it is it dressing in a certain way? Is it affirmations that you paste all over the place that help you to step in to that role of a confident businesswoman who charges a fair and respectful price for what she offers in the world? Become that woman. Do what you need to do to become her, to walk in the consciousness of that woman. So use affirmations, look the part, feel like you're acting the part. When you do that, it's going to really be more of a natural process for you to be able to ask for money in exchange for the amazing value that you offer in the world.
Yes. Well said. And the thing is that we could talk all day about monetizing your business, building and grow your business. It's definitely what we do with our clients to build million and multi-million dollar, businesses, companies, empires, whatever it is that you desire. And so, but I think we definitely give everybody enough information today to be able to inspire you, to get you excited about building and growing your business, and of course, monetizing that, because you deserve to make incredible wealth from your business and, doing great things in the world when you do that. And so we want to thank everybody for watching today. We hope that you join us this Friday so that we can help you more with, how to increase your sales with ease, because every woman should want to and be able to accomplish that in their business. So, if you have any comments from today's show, feel free to throw those in the comments below. We love reading your comments. If you have a show idea that you would like Jackie and I to talk about, feel free to share that with us. We could talk about anything, couldn't we, Jackie?
We absolutely can.
Yes, absolutely.
Challenge us. We'll show you.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So we wish everybody a fantastic week. We look forward to hopefully seeing you on Friday. And of course, be tuned in to our next episode of So You Want to Be a Millionaire. Bye, everyone.